We going. There we go.
There we go. There we go. Got it going on now.
Good afternoon, Cog Squad.
We say every time when we look at that little intro thing that we're going to check on it and see how you do that because that's pretty cool.
You know what? I think what I'll do is I'll get my buddy Wes to make me a little. It can't be long. It's got to be like 5 seconds, and that's it.
Well, we need to read up on it and see, how long it lasts and
Have me a little intro.
yeah.
Queen City Burger and Fries food truck.
How about that?
That sounds good.
You're not near us, are you?
What's for supper?
Already. That's right. That's right. Well, I didn't say the date. We just jumped right on.
What's the
November
date?
12th at 4 o'clock here in Alabama. And it's hot.
It wasn't supposed to be hot today.
No.
Not like this.
It's supposed to start cooling off, but
That's right.
I think it's a little delayed.
I want to say this is a important date today, November 12th. Do you know what happened November 12th? November 12th, 1955, when Marty McFly and Doc got the DeLorean and hit the lightning bolt and timed it, boom, and Marty got back home.
Jason, I just need to know, did you see that come up today or did you actually remember it? Because
I didn't remember it.
You don't know my birthday, you don't know our anniversary, but you know the date that Marty McFly
got back to the future.
Got back to the future.
I did not remember that. I saw that this morning.
Well, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you don't remember it.
Even though that's probably is one of my most favorite movies of all time.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you don't remember the date, though.
Don't remember the date.
That would kind of...
You know what? I like Smokey and the Bandit.
Right.
I like the Fall Guy truck.
Yeah.
I don't want a DeLorean. But I will also love that black Toyota 4x4 truck Marty McFly got in that movie.
You know what? I don't like either of those movies as well as I do Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if this knows what Doc is. No. There's a picture of me and you.
With Doc.
With Doc at Universal Studios.
That's right.
And I know we sent it to Jacqueline, but I've sent Jacqueline a lot of pictures since then, so I doubt I can find it. Yeah, that was a really good movie.
It's so good. I'll have to watch. Me and Miracle's already seen it. It makes me want to watch it again. But we hadn't seen. I think we've seen part 2. After part 2, they're y'all know how sequels go. They just kind of start going downhill. Now there are some movies where the sequel's better, but that's rare. And I'm trying to think of one, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
that's right. That 1985 SR5 extra cab pickup truck. Thanks, Mary. That is a awesome truck.
I'm not going to be able to find the picture.
Listen, Doc. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Jacqueline and I have sent a lot of pictures back and forth, and a lot of them are quite comical as I browse back through.
Oh, goodness.
Come on, it's got to be right here.
See
yes, it's got to. There it is. Look.
Oh, don't. You almost got too excited there.
I almost did. Mary Carl's in it. This was from what year? I don't know what year that was.
Last year.
Well, Mary Carl's so little.
That was last year.
Was it last year?
It had to be last year.
And now she looks grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at Universal Studios. I had to grab him up and say, you got to have a picture.
Usually he's got the, where you can read your thoughts. That,
we had a little aluminum thing on his head.
Yeah, that was part 2, or the end of part 1, basically.
So maybe next time we'll get part 1.
Maybe next time. I saw somebody ask, how was Ryan the Roaster? They haven't seen him on here in a couple of weeks. Y'all, Ryan's daughter is a senior in high school this year. So Ryan has been humping it. He is going to every single thing they have.
He's the best dad ever. Just go on and say it.
That's right.
He's a really good dad that goes to every single thing that he can.
That's right.
For his daughter, who is a senior.
So that's where Ryan has been lately. He has been absolutely humping it.
But he's doing good. He's making coffee still.
Yes.
He's getting orders out.
That's right.
And all that good stuff.
Somebody want to know what kind of car the Dukes of Hazzard car is. That is a Dodge Charger. I'm not for sure what year.
Somebody's gonna tell us
what year that was. It would have to be, if I had to guess, is 70, somewhere maybe 73 to 77-ish, my guess, give or take on that. I may be wrong on that.
Somebody's gonna tell us.
Somebody's gonna let us know on that.
That's right.
But yeah, Doc.
I loved Back to the Future.
That's a
I
good
really
movie.
did. But you're right. The first one was probably my favorite.
It was 1970. Oh, somebody says 68, 69, 68. So I guess it depends on, I don't know. They had a bunch of them. So maybe that's what it is. 69 Charger.
Somebody just said, my shirt is so cute.
They saw your shirt already.
How did they see it?
I don't know.
Well, you got to show it down because I don't think I can stand up. So it's a new little design that we have for Christmas. And
yes.
I was informed accidentally that Catherine at G&G called it buffalo plaid.
Is that what it's called?
I guess so. I didn't
call
question
it Christmas plaid.
She called it buffalo plaid, so we're just going to call it buffalo plaid. But y'all, maybe I ought to go take a quick change.
You think?
Oh,
that
would confuse people. Just think if they picked up.
It could be like Wonder Woman.
No, just think if they were watching the live right here and they had to go stir something on the stove and they came back.
That's true.
They'd be like, it's another day.
So you saw the buffalo plaid.
Yeah.
And we have this cute one here that's got a few of our animals on it. That says Merry Christmas.
Merry Coghill
Christmas. I see Jesse, Gus, Loretta, Scott, Top, Mildred, Moody, Peaches,
Honey,
and Nuggo.
That's right. We couldn't fit everybody on there, so y'all just have to understand that.
That's right.
Some didn't make the cut, but that doesn't mean that we're not thinking about them.
And this one right here was designed by Mr. J, who does our books for us.
We were trying to come up with a Christmas design.
Oh, yeah.
We were driving down the road, and I told Jason, I said, what about reaching out to Jay?
I bet he can do it.
And seeing if he can design something with our animals. And y'all, he had it done by the end of the day.
He did.
When we reached out to him, he worked on it that day until he got it done.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple of different designs to hopefully appeal to just about everybody for a Christmas shirt if you're interested. It's on the website already. And then we said Ryan's been making his coffee, and that means he has Christmas coffee ready.
I will say, I bet we got more messages because the Christmas coffee was a hit last year. And the Christmas coffee is now on the site.
On the site.
Yes.
So.
We do have children's sizes. It goes from a youth extra small or starts at a youth extra small.
Maybe they mean like a 2T.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. But it has youth extra small, and then, of course, youth small, medium, large, and extra large.
And then
adult sizes start.
Yes.
Yep. But yes, Christmas coffee and the new Christmas shirts and merchandise is out, and of course the new kids Christmas book, which I still have up here.
Lester liked our book.
Lester did like our book, and this book is on the website too, but it still does come from Amazon.
So you can either go to Amazon and order it by typing in Cog Hill Farm, or go to our website, www.coghillfarm.com, and see everything.
And yes, long sleeves are available.
Yeah.
Somebody says they heard it was called Stewart plaid.
Well,
probably one of them things. It's probably got 400 names for it.
We had to look up something today.
And you looked up buffalo plaid?
No, I didn't. But it kind of was like a buffalo because it was about an ox.
That's right. So you said, I don't know so-and-so from Adam's House Cat. And we say that all the time. And I told you and Mary Carl, I was like, where in the world did that come from? That's got to have some kind of backstory, Adam's House Cat, because that makes zero sense.
Yes.
And we say it like it's nothing.
Right.
Just comes flowing right out of our mouth. So upon my investigation, number one, it is a very southern thing. So it's not that common up north. See, I never heard that. Not that common up north. It's really common down here in the south, from what I read. Now, everybody says it down here. I don't know him from Adam's house.
Yep.
I don't know him from Adam's House Cat. Or I don't know that song from, that's just a very common saying around here. So we did a little research and come to find out, like always, that's not how it started out. It started out as I don't know him from Adam's off ox. And we were like, what in the world does Adam off ox mean?
That sounds absolutely wacko to me.
Sounds crazy. So it is this, the off ox, if you're driving.
And he's saying OFF.
OFF.
OX.
Like babe, the ox. So
Babe, the ox.
Yeah, Paul Bunyan.
Oh, see.
So if you're driving and you got your ox in front of your oxen.
Like Moody.
Your off ox is the furthest one away. So you don't know him from Adam's off ox. And how it never got into how it said that it wanted to be a more common term because people don't drive oxen anymore. And that's where house cat came into play.
I can tell you, I don't know him from Adam's off ox is a mouthful to me.
That would be a mouthful.
And it might come out the wrong way. I mean, it just sounds like something that could get twisted up.
Yes.
But Adam's house cat is just like babbling brook. It just
comes out.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of things here, and I'm seeing some Midwestern people say is we don't know them from Adam. No house cat, no nothing behind it. Is we don't know them from Adam. And I saw somebody else. Gosh, let's see if I can find it. Where'd it go? Something about Adam and a fox.
Huh.
I can't find it now.
Isn't it interesting, the sayings, though, and how they transform over the years?
It is so crazy. Here it is. Yes, we say Adam's all fox. So I bet that's also a spin-off of ox.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
It is. Huh.
Up in Oregon, they say we don't know him from Adam. Here is Adam's house cat. Who knows?
Well, maybe me and you just made that up.
No,
maybe nobody else.
No, I saw a lot of people say that they say that too.
Okay.
Or I've heard that.
Well, that makes me feel better at least. Because that's something that you just spurred out. And, there's lots of little sayings like that, and they have people's name, but that doesn't mean that you're degrading them at all. Sometimes we say Debbie Downer, but we're not in any way meaning that against Debbie. It's just something that flows with the tongue.
I think Michael Key said that he knows the one that somebody's drunker than Cooter Brown.
Cooter Cat Brown's what I
Cooter Cat Brown. Maybe that's what he said.
Cooter Cat Brown.
So yeah, there's another word. Cats just getting a bad rap.
They do.
Bad luck.
Yeah.
Don't know him from Adam's house cat.
And we got 4 black cats.
Drunker than Cooter Cat Brown.
Cooter Cat Brown.
Oh my gracious.
Yeah.
Oh well, we love cats.
It is what it is. All those sayings will continue to change.
In Ohio, we say we don't know him from Adam's apple. Ain't that crazy? Poor old Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Adam don't know anybody, does
That's right. Hopefully we're not offending any Adams.
Oh, goodness. Cooter Brown in Texas. Eliminate the word cat.
Cooter. Maybe I made up the cat.
No, I think that's what Michael said. And we had drunker than Cooter Cat Brown. Yep. Okay. A lot of people have heard Cooter Brown, though.
Okay.
Ain't that awesome?
Drunker than
a monkey in
drunker
Ohio.
Than a monkey. Speaking of monkeys,
maybe that's what happened to the ones in South Carolina.
I was just thinking, did y'all see that? And I want to get it right. So I took a screenshot of it because I couldn't believe what I'd seen. And y'all probably know exactly what I'm talking about. In South Carolina, there were 40, and I'm probably not going to find it. Anyway, a bunch of monkeys, like 43, if I'm not mistaken. The number may be a little bit off, escaped from a test lab in South Carolina.
Oh my gosh.
Monkeys are on the loose.
Monkeys are on the loose.
They're still on the loose.
Drunker than a skunk.
They were saying to lock your doors.
That's pretty funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss your story.
I don't know what size.
43 monkeys.
Okay, that's what I said. 43.
They probably needed to be,
but
they're in a test facility.
I hate to be a theorist, but I'm gonna say something, and y'all tell me if you think I'm right. I don't know any background to that story, but I can just about bet you that 43 monkeys weren't loose all together in one room.
Yeah, that's what me and you we had talked about. How in the world? Because they had to be in separate cages.
So that means 43 locks probably had to be undone, unless one monkey got out and undid all the 43 locks. That's possible. But something sounds a little off about that.
They may have been messing around with the wrong monkey, and he got real smart and was like, you know what? I'm fixing to let all my buddies out. And
that monkey might have been drunker than Cooter Cat Brown and just said, I'm going to let everybody out. We fixing a party.
There's the 43 monkeys just don't.
They're not in a room where there's one exit.
I agree.
That just is, something's lacking to that story.
Something's lacking. And surely there wasn't one button that unlocked all 43 cages.
Surely not, because that needed to have some security.
It was Caesar. So that's a series that me and Mary Carl have watched. We've seen all the Planet of the Apes, and Caesar was the head guy.
Okay. I'm thinking Caesar Milan, the dog trainer.
Not him.
Not him.
Not him.
He'd have let the dogs out, not the monkeys.
Yes, absolutely.
So have any of them been caught?
I saw somebody say one.
One?
Yeah.
So there's 42 monkeys still on the loose. That's not good.
That's a lot of monkeys.
That is not good, because it can happen. That's how.
Oh, it said somebody said they captured all but 12.
Oh.
23 monkeys have been caught.
Well, still.
30 monkeys have been caught.
Some of the monkeys have been caught.
Some of them have been caught.
But you know how, like...
somebody said they're all been caught. So, anyways.
You know how, like, a hurricane happened in South Florida one time that supposedly destroyed some pet stores and some pythons got loose? And then I'm sure there were some pet owners that released some.
I'm sure, too.
And then they became, wild in South Florida. They became overrun with snakes that are not.
Oh, yeah, that's bad over there.
I'm thinking that's what could happen with those monkeys.
It very possibly could happen with the monkeys. It could surely mess the ecosystem up for sure.
Well, they better get a better lock on their cages if they don't want them to escape again. Because that sounds fishy.
I like drunk as a skunk. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. You've heard that.
I have, but it's been a while since I've heard that.
Well, we probably hadn't been around anybody that was drunk as a skunk in a long time.
A long time.
A long time. And I really don't want to be around anybody anytime soon.
Oh, man.
That's drunk as a skunk.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, me. Has anybody in South Carolina seen the monkeys?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. My friend Robert Day, he's a bird breeder.
Right.
But he's also loves exotics of any kind. He said, send me all the monkeys.
Is that what he said?
Yes. And I said, Robert, they said keep your doors locked.
They could have some type of, that's something I'd be worried about.
If they said keep your doors locked, obviously they know how to twist a handle.
That's true.
Because why else would you need to lock your door?
Yeah, why would you need to lock your door?
Somebody can turn the handle.
That's right. Keep your doors locked.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Well,
my thinking is that, oh, great, here we go. We're going to have some kind of outbreak now.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Oh, my gracious.
Kind of where, I thought that they were telling us some headlines in case something happened. Anyway. Regardless, I sure hope they're right about all of them being caught.
It does sound like a movie, doesn't it?
It
Absolutely.
Does.
It sounds just like a movie.
That's a good idea for somebody that's
right.
Thinking of something to make. Escape monkeys. In documentary, too. If they knew the real story. I don't know.
So you were saying that Mr. Lester read the Peaches book.
I couldn't figure it out.
So we started getting several little emails and messages that Lester read the book online
On a
on a
live.
live. And I was like, well, let me go find it so I can like it and comment on it and tell him thank you. And I looked and I looked and I could never find it. But he did, because we kept getting more messages. And then he ended up sending me a message and said, hey, I read your book online, and sent me a little video clip of it. But anyways, I was very appreciative of it.
That's very nice
Yes,
of him
very
to do
nice of
that.
him. Absolutely.
We certainly didn't ask him to do that.
Mm-mm.
And it was just out of the goodness of his heart that he read it. And I'm sure he did a good job.
I'm sure he did a great job.
Hopefully.
Now he did a little comedy skit at the end, insinuating that that's what we wanted him to do, and that we sent him the book. But I think a fan may have sent him the book.
I don't know who sent him the book. I don't know, but we did not send him the book.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
Now we do send him coffee from time to time.
Right, but we don't have the books in hand, so
no, we don't have the books in hand.
We have to order them off Amazon just like anybody else would.
Everybody said he did a great job.
I know he did.
I know he did.
He needs his own set of books. That could be a series that just never ends. His could be adult friendly.
I was fixing to say
he wouldn't have to be a kid friendly book.
That's right.
No offense to him. I mean, I'm just saying, we got the kids series. He could go on and satisfy the adults.
Right. That's right.
So.
Oh me. Somebody said
it was a fan.
It was a fan that seen him the book.
Okay. Leaving the door open for Lester and his. I won't call it an adult book, because that kind of leads to some.
Yeah, that don't sound right either.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. I don't mean that at all. No.
So apparently the monkeys from the comments haven't been tested on and don't have anything. So I'm not exactly sure. At least that's what they're telling us.
I'm just gonna have to read up on this monkey situation.
That's what they're telling us. They're like, listen, these monkeys are completely safe and they don't have anything.
Why do you need to lock your doors then? Are they gonna come after you, or?
Oh goodness!
There's some reason they want you to lock your doors. They're dangerous monkeys.
It is Lester and Jamie's anniversary today.
What? How about that?
How about that?
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary!
Two of our most famous. Happy anniversary to two of our most famous favorite friends. There you go. Here's another one. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
There you go.
Since we're on the.
There you go. You know what Lester could do is an ad-lib book. I loved ad-lib books. You didn't know what those are, did you?
No.
So an ad-lib book was that you have your book.
It was a pop-up?
No. It was a book, and it had these stories in it.
Okay.
And they would leave part of the stories blank. I gotta get her out of here.
Holly came through the gate over here. We got a slight situation. Holly and Dee Dee, when they're confronted with each other. This is like the Turtle Man live action. When they are face to face with each other, they have a little drama. So Holly's on that side of the room, and Dee Dee's on the couch, and Holly busted through, and there you go. That's what happened. You gonna put her out?
No.
Okay, so Holly's gonna stay downstairs, and hopefully this will work out. Sorry, y'all. Oh, she's back up here. All right, she's gonna settle down. And Jason's gonna have to tell y'all about this book that he's talking about, because I don't know.
You don't remember ads, so me and my buddies.
You might remind me once you start talking about it.
So it was a book, and it had a story in it, and then it would have parts of the story taken out, and you would fill them in yourself. So say it would be part of the story would be name an animal, right? And so you would make up an animal, and then another part of the story is make up an activity, and so you'd put that in there. So you didn't know what the story was about.
Okay.
So I would ask you those questions, you tell me, and I'd fill in the blanks. Then when we're done, I'd read the story.
And it would make sense.
It would be really funny.
Oh. Well, there you go, Lester. There you go. There's your book idea.
I loved ad-lib books. And of course, me and my
They're
buddy,
saying it with an M.
ad lib.
Mad Libs.
It was called ad lib. See, ADD.
I thought that was an M.
That one may have been, but what we called them was ad lib books.
They're calling them Mad Libs.
I saw several people say ad lib.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't know because I don't
Some
know
people were
what you're
saying
talking
mad
about.
lib. The ones we had though was called ADD.
I wonder what the difference is.
Mad
See, they're
Libs.
all saying Mad Libs.
I don't know.
Maybe
See,
you.
ad lib stories.
Huh.
The people are going both ways. I guess it depends on what brand it was.
Probably depends on if you're in Alabama or not.
Very possible. We loved them, especially me and Stan.
Huh.
Me and Stan loved them because we would come up with the most silliest. And because it'd make the story even more sillier.
But that wouldn't be for an adult, I wouldn't think.
Oh, it could be.
Oh, well, okay.
I wonder if they still make those. I bet they do.
Well, you know,
Mad Lib is a game. Somebody said this was a book, and it was probably like this thick, and had all these stories in it. And then it had the little sections missing out of it, and you would say it. And then, of course, then after you wrote in it, it wasn't any good. You had to go on the next one.
well, you know, I had so many books for me, Carl, when she was little, and that's something I never had. So that makes me think that they may not be made anymore.
I can
But
see it today.
I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong.
What, they're still available?
I've never seen one at a thrift store. I don't think either. So they are. It appears.
I don't see them. I bet there's some on eBay though.
Probably.
It's called Mad Lib now though.
Wonder why they
I
quit
think.
making it.
I don't know. I didn't see any on there.
Huh.
But it was fun. People said they still make them. Good.
Okay.
Good. And then when they said Mad Lib, that reminded me of Mad Magazine, which is another one I loved. You like Mad Magazine?
I don't know anything about
The
it.
cover, it always, if you folded the cover, it made a picture of it.
I had National Geographic, and that was pretty much the only magazine that I had.
That's it.
But I would read it from front to cover. And maybe that's why I love animals so much.
Maybe so.
I don't know. Because I sure didn't have anything more than a cat and dog ever in my life. And now look at me. I mean, I'm like, what next? I'm serious.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, you would think somebody that had such a menagerie of animals, such as you and I, would have grown up with a menagerie of animals.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't happen that way. I mean, I never touched a horse until after we were married.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
They got Mad Libs on Amazon right there.
Okay. Well,
That's
good.
pretty cool. I'm going to have to get one just to play around with it.
Well, you can get
We
Lester.
could do one on air.
You could get Lester to fill in the blanks. We might not better do it live, though.
But Mad Magazine, you know what I remember about Mad Magazine? Is Spy versus Spy. I bet there's some Mad Magazine fans out there know exactly what I'm talking about. That was my favorite part of the magazine, was Spy versus Spy, which was a comic, and it was two spies, and one was solid black and one was solid white. It was a black and white comic.
Oh.
So I could tell the difference in them. And they had this long snout.
See, I'm just sitting here lost.
I love Spy versus Spy.
But that's okay, because if you ask me something about National Geographic magazine, I won't remember it either. Today, Jason and I were on the way home from driving somewhere, and he said, "What was the name of that Christmas tree farm?" And I spurted it off like nobody's business. I said, "See, that's one of those things I don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to know something that needs to take its place that I can't remember." It just funny how the brain works.
It is funny. I see a lot of people saying that they like Highlight magazine. Highlights. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
The only time I ever saw a Highlights magazine was when I was in a doctor's office somewhere. It was either my mom went to the chiropractor. They always had them at the chiropractor. Always. And then, every other doctor's office would have them. And y'all know the first place I'd go to if it hadn't been done yet is where they had the items inside the picture and you have to find them.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite thing about the Highlights.
Find the squirrel in the tree.
Yes. It could just be a picture of a lady in a rocking chair.
Yeah.
And there was 10 things hidden in that picture. And you had
a scarf or a telephone or something.
Yes. I love that. And they had the one was the difference. Could you tell the difference between the two pictures too? Yeah. I love Highlighters magazine too.
I
That's the
needed-
only time I remember seeing them.
I probably needed to practice that, tell the difference a little bit better, because I'm having a hard time with telling the difference in birds, and I get quizzed quite often.
Yeah.
And like a cedar waxwing and a meadowlark,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they look similar to me, but to somebody like me, Carl, it's like laughable that those are similar. So I needed to study the differences a little bit more. I didn't get very good at it. I missed it part. But I remember when my mama would go to the grocery store, I would beg her to let me stay on the magazine aisle until she finished shopping.
Oh my gosh.
And she would say, you know, things just weren't like they are now.
No.
You could sit on the magazine aisle as long as you stayed right there.
Yes.
And
So,
I'll come back over here when I get.
There was one local drugstore.
They're laughing because you said chiropractor.
Chiropractor.
You said it like COW.
That's how you say it. How you say it?
I
Say
don't
it.
say it.
Say it, Brooke.
Don't say it. We're going to talk about the magazine now. I'm not laughing at it because I say it the same way.
So there was one local drugstore, and I want to say it was called Revco. But if it wasn't that one, it was another one.
It was downtown. Revco was.
Okay, this wasn't downtown. This was over there by the original Walmart. It was right there.
Oh, Harco.
No, it wasn't Harco.
Oh.
Anyways, they had the best magazine selection because they had all of the Kung Fu and Ninja magazines.
Oh, my goodness.
The only place that had them. So when we go in there, that's where I go. And I will look at the Kung Fu and the Ninja magazines right there. And every now and then I could get one. And oh my gracious, it was just like Christmas.
Well, I knew I wasn't going to get one. I knew I had to look at it and
Eckerd's. Go
Eckerd's.
ahead.
Who remembered that?
Revco and Eckerd's. I don't know who.
Now, Eckerd's was in the Selma Mall too.
I did
remember?
have Eckerd's. Yeah, it was. But this was Eckerd's, and it was right there because a buddy of mine's dad was the pharmacist.
Oh,
at
okay.
Eckerd's.
I remember Eckerd's now. Yep.
But they had it. They had that Kung Fu. Oh my. I was so happy when I went in there, got to go in there, see the nunchucks and the throwing stars.
Now, see, I'd have been mad if I'd have went in there and they had some Kung Fu magazines.
And then they'd have step by step, a picture frame of each step on how to do.
So you're standing there practicing.
Yeah.
Like you're
how to do a hip toss on somebody. It'd be like step one and, like this, and then step two.
And you were probably blocking the whole aisle trying to
Oh,
practice.
my gracious. Oh, my gracious.
Parents going, somebody needs to come get their kid.
You know what other magazine I like that I used to get that my not granddaddy, but my granddad.
What?
It was Boy's Life.
Well, I'm happy to say I didn't read Boy's Life either.
But this is what I liked about. I didn't like the front of Boy's Life really. It was the back that had all these advertisements in the back, and it was the coolest stuff.
Like for sale?
Yeah, and it was the most far out it was a hovermobile. You sat in and it was supposed to float and you could go around.
You thought about buying it?
Oh, I wanted it. But you're talking about in the early, there was no such thing as a hovermobile in the early 80s.
Make that advertisement?
No, but I remember that clear as day. And then they had stuff like candy that it was trick candy that if you gave somebody, it tasted really bad.
Oh.
And make smoke come from your fingers.
And you always wanted to buy stuff like that?
It was the coolest magazine. The back, I don't even remember nothing in the front half of the magazine. It was always the back. Fake blood.
I remember some kind of and this is related to animals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of magazine it was. My Meemaw got it because of me. And it had all kind of cool like t-shirts in it.
It was a magazine?
Like a catalog.
Okay.
Magazine made me think of it, but it might have been a magazine that had these shirts in it. It was kind of like National Geographic, but it wasn't.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And there would be things in it that were like like say I remember this shirt that I had that was a solar system, and I thought it was so cool because it had all the planets on it and the moon and the the distances listed, and then I had one that had like a frog and how far out its tongue went to
You
catch
had a shirt like that?
Yeah, she would tell me to circle in there, and that'd be like my Christmas. She'd order me some cool things like that. But I was always excited when she told me to get that book out and circle what I wanted.
Circle what you wanted. Now I saw two other things that was always in the back of the Boys Life magazine.
What's that?
Sea monkeys was one.
Yeah.
There's those little things like this, and you put it in, they grew.
Yeah.
And the other one was called, or the X-ray glasses. And I can see the ad right now, y'all. It was that dude. He had them glasses with the swirls on, and he had his hand up like this.
Yeah.
And it was his skeleton.
I remember that. But, things like that, I don't remember vividly.
Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday.
I don't know what happened.
The black gum. Yes, the black gum.
The black gum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, two different types of black gum now. Now, you had the black gum that would turn your teeth in all black. Then you had the black gum that was a laxative.
Oh, goodness. So did you know which one you were going to get?
Well, the black gum to turn your teeth all black is, I think, what they sold in the back of the Boys Life magazine. The black gum that was a laxative you got at the drugstore.
You could buy it over the counter?
Mm-hmm.
And now they would be sued so fast for that. You know it?
No, I mean, it wasn't a gum to trick somebody with. It was actual, like a laxative for you.
I thought you meant it was a trick.
But people would do it as a trick.
Oh.
Blackjack gum.
That was the laxative?
I don't know which one was the laxative, which one was.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember talking about tricks and stuff. So we went to the beach. My granddaddy had a place on Panama City, had a trailer there. This was many years ago. Panama City was nothing. The beach, Panama City Beach here, it was nothing back then. And so they had the Alvin Islands or whatever it was, and they had a little place where you could buy this trick stuff. And somebody said it was a licorice gum. Now, like, I swear that there was a laxative gum. At least that's what I was told when I was a kid. Maybe that's what I was told.
They didn't want you to try to buy it.
That's what it was.
Oh, goodness, that's funny.
Anyways.
Now you're interested, aren't you?
I am interested. I have to look that up. But there was that laxative. I swear it was a laxative. That was a gum. Anyways.
Lava something. Oh, no, they're talking about lava lamps.
There was this cigarette lighter that you could buy, and it squirted water. And it looked just like a cigarette lighter. And this is back in the 80s now.
It's where a kid could buy a cigarette lighter. A real one.
Oh, yeah. But we'd go to the beach, and it'd be the whole family. Aunts, uncles, everywhere, right? A lot of people said X-Lax had a gum. Maybe that's what it was then. But you would take that cigarette lighter and you would swap it. And y'all, I made so many, and I'm talking about fighting mad. Like I was fixing to get a whooping mad because I swapped their lighters with that cigarette lighter that squirted water instead of flame. I'm talking, yeah. I
bet you did get in trouble.
Absolutely. I thought it was hilarious. Finament is the laxative gum.
Okay.
But yeah. I can see one of my aunts right now. Oh my gracious, she was
getting that glass water after you.
Then of course you get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
And then it'd be 2 days later and you do it again.
Once it wore off and they forgot about it.
Forget.
Then you try it again.
They forget. And it was like a little tiny stream, but it was a lot of pressure, so it shot pretty high.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't like, I mean, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
That's funny.
Absolutely hilarious. Not to them though. They didn't think it was too funny.
Things just aren't like they used to be. Are they? I mean, times have changed. As they always will, but it just seems like things were more fun back then.
I guess so. That was fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The switchblade, which was comb, the switchblade comb, something my key said. Oh my gosh. The
Well-
switchblade comb now, if you had a switchblade comb
I remember that.
and a butterfly knife, you was on the top of the food chain. You had all the girls, all the guys was jealous of
Well,
you.
me as a girl remember the boys that have the
The
you know,
switchblade comb?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Knowing they weren't doing anything, they weren't brushing their hair with it. Yeah, it was just
It was cool to have
it was just cool. It wasn't
Oh my gosh.
purposeful. Who ever thought of these things? I mean, just ingenious. It's like all the ideas have been wore out now, and everything's turned to electronics.
Yeah, it's turned electronics.
If it doesn't have a battery in it now, then it's not made.
So I'm seeing Pop Rocks come up. So y'all tell me this: how many of y'all were absolutely terrified because you heard if you swallowed Pop Rocks,
your stomach was
and drank a Coca-Cola or a carbonated drink, game over.
You were going to explode.
You were going to explode.
How many of y'all tried it after you were told?
I was too scared to. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Well, realistically, you have to imagine that if it does that much in your mouth, it could do it.
Oh, me.
It could do it. Oh, that's funny.
I remember that. You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Everybody was scared to do that.
Yes, I remember it.
Everybody was scared to. I don't know of anybody that did it.
Well, if they did, I didn't want to be around them. They were too risky. They were going to blow up.
I'm sure they still make Pop Rocks.
I think they do because I can remember Mary Carl having eaten them.
Okay.
You know what she bought the other day that I thought, how do you like that stuff? And you're probably going to say you love it.
I saw the package.
You did.
The Fun Dip.
Fun Dip.
Oh my! When I saw the package, I thought,
where is it?
That was one of my top 5 candies was Fun Dip.
Did you eat the spoon?
I really didn't care for the spoon too much. I like the dip, especially the green.
I like the spoon better than the.
I can see the old package now. It was that round head of that kid, and I can see it today.
She bought some Fun Dip the other day,
and it had the cartoon, fruit on the different little sections.
You had to open it up to see the answer, didn't you?
No, that was Laffy Taffy.
Oh, okay.
Fun Dip had 3 little sections. It was cherry, grape, and apple, I believe what it was.
And not everybody liked all 3 of them.
No, I love Fun Dip.
And you could tear it and divide it, and they didn't run together. Yep, I was surprised that because she doesn't like. She's not a candy person.
No, she's not a candy.
Well, she is more so than me, but not as much as Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's a candy person. We went downtown to the little Halloween thing that the city had, and her and her friend walked around, and of course there were businesses throwing stuff in their bags and such, and got home, and the first thing Jason said was, dump it all out on the counter. And he had to pick through it, figure out what he wanted.
There's not good candy. I mean,
well, I will tell y'all, out of that whole bag of candy that she got, well, it wasn't a whole bag, it was just a few pieces, but out of that spread that she got, that she laid out right there, the only candy that I liked out of it was a Baby Ruth.
And y'all, that Baby Ruth was as big as a Tic Tac.
I'm not kidding. But it made me realize that's all I need for satisfaction.
I know, but it wasn't even a mini.
It wasn't a mini.
It was like a mini.
And I saw some advertisements for some things talking about how much Halloween candy was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a bag of good candy, something like that.
Yeah.
It was $28 a bag. Wow. Who can afford to give out candy at $28 a bag? Mm. But some of it was still cheap. But, some of it was on up in. And that was like when you first walked in Walmart, $28 candy displayed.
I'm going to tell you, if I lived in a neighborhood that had lots of trick-or-treaters, you know what I'd do?
I don't know.
I would be that one neighbor that gave out full regular size candy bars.
So, do you remember when we used to take Mary Carl trick-or-treating?
I can tell you right now, you can ask anybody. It don't matter what age they are.
They remember where they got that.
If there was a neighbor that gave out them full size candy bars, y'all know his name, the address, where he lived. Never forget it.
I lived in the best neighborhood I could have ever asked for growing up. I mean, the kid, Michael Key, I'm talking about your cousin Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, Jenny, Amanda. I mean, just friends everywhere, all over the neighborhood. I moved there when I was 12, and of course lived there till me and Jason got married. But it was the best neighborhood for trick or treating, because it was like everybody drove their kids to my neighborhood, because it was a not so populated street
Yeah.
that went down a little cut through road, and then it was a populated street. So all of my friends and I got together and we went trick or treating. There was this one house at the end of the road on the dead end street, and they worked for Coca-Cola.
Oh.
And by that time, we were hot and sweaty.
Ooh.
Even if it was cold outside, you were hot and sweaty.
That was brilliant.
And they gave away Cokes.
That was brilliant.
Canned Cokes. And I'm talking about chug it down.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you got there, you were so thirsty that you were so thankful that they gave out Cokes. And I'll never forget that house as long as I live. That's kind of like your candy bar.
The full-size candy bar. There is two things I see coming up, and that is the wax bottles with the liquid in it. I love those.
The fake teeth.
The fake teeth. And popcorn balls that their grandmother or somebody gave up. I remember when I was little, the neighborhood where I lived in, there was a neighbor that gave out popcorn balls.
Homemade, I'm sure.
Homemade popcorn balls. Couldn't do that today.
Oh no. Do y'all remember when the time came around and they were talking about razor blades possibly being in candy?
We went to the daggum ER. They had a thing set up at the medical center
where you had to scan your candy.
They would x-ray your candy for you.
I mean,
and my parents took, and that was an urban legend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the absolute urban legend.
Well, I'm sure there were some idiots that did it, though.
I don't think so. I think that was just all urban legend, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew and grew, and people got scared, and next thing you know, you're at the ER getting a candy x-ray.
Well, now it back then, if somebody made something homemade and you didn't know them, you ate it anyway.
Yeah.
But now, if somebody gave you something homemade, you throwing it out.
Yeah.
It's not going into your child's stomach.
No.
Or the adult stomach, for that matter. You just can't trust people like you could. For that matter, you wouldn't drink a Coca-Cola that was sealed up.
You're probably right.
It just things have changed quickly, because I feel like that was yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I can remember us running up and down the street, and I don't know.
It was fun, though.
It was fun.
It was fun.
I wouldn't trade my neighborhood for anything. And I said I would never leave the city. And I sometimes think, I wonder if I'm doing a good thing by raising me, Carl, in the country where there aren't kids to play with, or if it's a bad thing, because I have so many childhood memories of playing with neighborhood friends.
Yeah.
I mean, she has friends, but I saw my friends every single day.
Until the street light came on.
And
you better
get yourself home.
You better get home.
Yep.
There have been a few times where I didn't make it, and I was late, and that street light had been on for about 5 or 10 minutes.
But I know what they didn't do.
They
didn't call you on your cell phone.
No, but I got in trouble. I can tell you, my mama was waiting at the door.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That bike would be pedaling real fast when you got close to your house.
And you know how that street light comes on, and you're out there.
It's kind of a purple tint to begin with.
And you could hear it. As a kid, you could hear that for about half a mile away, and you knew then when it started buzzing like that.
Go.
You better go then.
Yep. And the neighborhood that I moved from had good kids, so I grew up with my mama babysat kids.
Yeah.
So I was always with a group of kids.
That's what somebody said. They used a pillowcase for their. We did too.
For what?
Your Halloween bag was a pillowcase.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Fun times.
It was. I remember a lot of homemade stuff. I saw some people say it was razor blades and apples, and they did find some in some.
See, I can imagine that it probably happened somewhere. TV news wasn't even like it is now.
I just
you wouldn't hear about it.
I just don't remember. I don't know.
But maybe they told us it was a myth so we wouldn't be scared.
I don't know that either.
Well, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, we got everybody. A lot of people use the pillowcases.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Fun times, fun memories.
So much fun.
Yes.
Mm.
The bad thing is that my house was the furthest away from any of my friends' house. So I had to travel the furthest on my bike to get to where everybody ended up. I had some miles on my
You
bike.
had some miles on your bike.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I had some miles on my bike. I had a good neighborhood.
Well, your
I had
friends
good
were away from, I mean, it was a good ways from you.
Yeah, I had to go across the street and
Yeah.
then down Brentwood Drive, and it wasn't that far. But yeah, I had a good neighborhood. Good neighbors. Yep. But you better be home when the street light comes on.
That's exactly right. You knew.
You knew.
And my mama might not be home from work yet.
Brooke, I remember me and Chip riding big wheels down the road before bikes.
I remember riding a big wheel down Oak Street where where I first lived.
Yeah.
So I mean, I remember that. It was just a whole different group of friends and a whole different time.
Now I never had one, but I had some neighborhood friends a friend that had one with the big wheel with the brake on the side.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Interesting.
Boy, you could get it. Hit that brake and skin around sideways. Oh man,
Fun times.
it was fun. I wonder if they still make big wheels. I bet they don't make big wheels.
I bet not either. Because you remember they were so the wheels were
I was
plastic and
say,
they make that clanking noise on the asphalt.
Yeah, and they wouldn't get traction at first.
Yeah. And then if you got a rock in it. And it didn't take but a minute for the color to wear off the wheel.
Somebody wonder, do we ever roll somebody's yard? Unfortunately, I did one time.
I wasn't with you. I don't think I've ever rolled anybody's
This was at
yard.
This was a youth group I was with.
Yeah, you know the things that I did that were like that
And
were
we
with
did
my
it-
church youth group.
And we did it to the youth group minister.
We stuck forks in the youth group's leader's yard.
Really?
Plastic forks all over it. That's about what I remember.
That's what we do to the 4 youth group ministers, leaders.
I don't remember ever rolling anybody's yard.
Oh man! Oh goodness!
We put soap in a fountain one time.
Yep, that was part
detergent in a fountain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what else. Lots of fun times.
Lots of fun times.
Yeah. Speaking of fun times.
Yeah.
I did something fun on Sunday.
You did do something.
Some of y'all might have missed it, but I got to thinking about freeze drying candy and freeze drying different things. And I said, I wonder if I could freeze dry something that smells good. But Catherine over at G&G gave me this idea, and that was to make ingredients for a simmer pot.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just simply water that's heated up to make your house smell good. And so I did, and I freeze dried some lemons and some oranges and some apples and rosemary and pine needles. And we put it on the stove. I didn't show doing that, but
it smells so good.
We took the leftover ingredients and put it in a pot of water on the stove, and y'all, the house smelled so good.
It
smelled so good, and you can use it over and over for several days until it's kind of lost its potency. But I used a cinnamon stick in it as well. I didn't freeze dry the cinnamon stick because it's already preserved, but smelt delicious, and it was very easy to do. Very easy to do. So I imagine you could, do the same thing with a dehydrator. If you don't have a freeze dryer. However, I was looking for a way to preserve it a long time. Freeze drying and dehydrating is a totally different process, but it would work. If you wanted to just keep it, for your own personal use. And it's not like it's, going to go bad. You're not eating it, so it would last forever.
Brooke, I want to say I saw somebody else said that they too, I think the name was Rhett, but it's gone, rolled their youth pastor's yard.
Rolled it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that must be a thing for youth pastors. I think it's like
I don't know.
You got to haze your youth pastor.
Well, we always did things, to our church leaders that that we didn't do to anybody else because we knew that they would just find it funny and it would be dismissed.
We didn't get in trouble either. It was all funny.
It was all funny
because it was the youth pastor.
It was like it was pre-understood that they are supposed to have things like that happen.
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. So,
what does that mean? So, to roll somebody's house is that you would take toilet paper and throw it in the trees,
and it doesn't come out very easily.
After it rains, it comes out. It will eventually come out.
Eventually is the key word there. And somebody's got to clean it all up.
Somebody's got to clean it up.
No fun. No fun in cleaning it up.
Michael, somebody had to do that to Ryan. He's over there, and he's pretty big in the church over there. I wonder if his house been rolled yet.
I don't know.
But Ryan probably don't do that now, though.
I was fixing to say Ryan might be the top suspect if he were to do it after this live.
Somebody said it's too expensive to roll. Somebody said, you're right.
Hey, I bet you this. I bet you when those monkeys got loose, I bet that all the toilet paper sold out in that area. Every time something happens,
the toilet paper, milk, and bread.
Election, I don't care what it is. All the toilet paper.
Oh, goodness.
A virus is coming. Toilet paper sold out.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what do they call it?
We call it TPing.
TPing, okay.
Because T and P is toilet paper. We always call it rolling.
Okay.
Rolling their yard or rolling. That's what we call it, rolling the yard.
Yeah.
But that's funny. People say they call it TP in their yard.
Huh. It's funny how different parts of the country. We're all in the same area, but yet things are different.
I tell you what you want that people don't do anymore now. We used to do it a lot. Was knock on the door and run.
Oh yeah.
We knock on the door in the neighborhood.
You knock on the door now, and you're gonna get shot. Or your picture's gonna be on Facebook. Do y'all know who this is?
Camera.
Do y'all know who this is?
Oh gosh!
I tell you, Mary Carl and I were coming back from Harrison Lake a couple of weeks ago, y'all, and we were on a fairly country road. I mean, it was really rural on the way home from Maplesville, and down the side of the road walks this huge turkey, this gobbler, this Jake. I mean, he was big. So I stopped the car, and Mary Carl had her camera, of course, because we had been to take pictures. Well, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's got to be a wild turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So we both pulled over on the side of the road, got out of the car, and she starts taking pictures of it. And the thing starts walking towards us. And Mary Carl's like, Mama, I don't think that's a wild turkey.
Oh,
and you could see as it got closer to us how big his legs were. And wild turkeys, I mean, they can get big, but they don't get like this kind of big.
Yeah.
He walked right up to my car, the Subaru, and he saw his reflection in the paint. And he was trying to gobble and trying to fight with the other, what he thought was another Tom. And it took us a couple of minutes to realize that was not a wild turkey. But I tell you what I did. After I figured out it wasn't wild, I went to the closest house and pulled in the driveway because he was going to get run over. He was in the middle of the road when we first saw him. I went and I knocked on the door to ask them if that was their turkey. Yeah. And they didn't come to the door, but they had a Ring camera. And all I could think of the entire time was my picture's going to be somewhere tomorrow. Do y'all know who this woman is? She came and knocked on my door.
That's funny.
I don't know if I made the cut or not, but nobody came to the door, so I hope the turkey's okay.
Michael Key, that's one thing that I did do one time with a gentleman named Eric, is that so everybody had the same cable box. We had one cable company in Selma, and all the cable boxes were the same. So you could take your remote and you could sneak around to the houses and you could change their channel through the window.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Let me see if I can find a picture of that turkey.
Oh, my gracious.
Y'all, he was beautiful, but he was.
Not to admit the cable box. I can see that cable box right now and the remote. And they were the same one forever. And it was a fake wood grain cable box.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. With the numbers on top.
Yeah.
And then the remote was similar in color, but it had like a metal, like a silver kind of out ring around
And
it.
it had some distinct looking letters on it.
Yep.
I can't find the picture of the turkey. I deleted it because I realized it wasn't a wild turkey. And if I want a picture of a domestic turkey, I can go out there and take some pictures of Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Came right up to the car and tried to fight with
it. I'm glad it didn't jump on you.
Well, if it would have been wild, it would not have came up to us like that.
Yeah.
And he has some big legs. But wild turkeys, they fly, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic turkeys, I'd like to see Thomas try to fly. He might get off the ground that far. It's not from us overfeeding him; it's from being domesticated. And
yeah, that's just where they are.
Wild turkeys sleep in trees.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way this turkey was getting in a tree. He couldn't have got up there. He couldn't have flown. So go figure. He was somebody's pet.
Oh,
maybe the people on the ring camera got him back.
Maybe so.
I didn't see him the next time I went through there.
I'm glad I didn't see your face on Facebook.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, you might have just missed it. I might have been there. I just got missed. That's all I wanted was to get the turkey back.
So I recently learned something talking about remotes, and I talked about this a few lives ago. Was that I remember some friends of mine had a TV that had a remote, and the remote had 2 buttons on it, and it clicked, and that's why they called them clickers for a long time. And so the way those remotes worked back then was off the noise. That's why the click was so loud. And that's what would cause your TV to change the channel was the loud click.
Wow, the click.
It was just the technology back then.
Well, it's kind of like the clap-on.
Yes, and that's why they had to change it because, noises would make your TV change.
Oh.
And that's when they came out with the infrared remotes.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I just learned that. But I remember the remote.
We could do a whole live on information that is tucked away in this man's brain that you may have never known. You may have never known it existed. And
oh, goodness.
It never fails. I learn something new every day. And I'm very thankful for you. For my endless information that comes from Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, he's there. He's got it. He's got it.
Click.
Well, y'all, it's about that time for what's for supper.
What's for supper?
I'm off the hook.
You're off the hook.
I'm off the hook. I'm off the hook because we went out for lunch. So, and I did think about it. Before we went out for lunch, I thought, well, it's what for supper. I need to really cook something. And so all these people that tell me what they're having, I won't look like a dud. But honestly, we had a busy day.
We did.
We had a busy day, and there was no way I could have cooked.
Yeah.
There was no way. Lots of chili.
It's getting close to chili time here.
It is.
Allegedly. We'll see it when it gets here. But
yeah, the temperatures we're supposed to have some rain tomorrow night. So that's going to bring in some cooler temperatures. Y'all may see us in some, sure enough, winter clothes before too long. If it dips below 70, I'm putting on a toboggan on my head. I had to say on my head so they wouldn't think it was a sled. Are you seeing what's for dinner?
I am. One thing caught my eye was somebody said they had yard darts, and some of the neighbors or one of our friends had yard darts. But let me tell you what I remember us doing. We had bow and arrows. Legit, for real, bow and arrows. Unsupervised. And we would shoot them straight up in the air to see how far they would go.
Did it have metal points on it?
Yes, it was a bow and arrow.
Oh, my goodness, Jason. I'm glad my friends didn't have access to that kind of thing.
Oh, man. Meatloaf, potato salad, chili. There's a lot of chili in there.
Well, we can tell y'all what we had for lunch.
That's right.
So I had chicken and dumplings, fried squash and onions, speckled butter beans, and coleslaw, and peach cobbler, but I brought it home. I didn't eat it. So what'd you have?
I had smothered pork chops and rice. I had butter beans. I had mashed potatoes and the salad bar.
So see, we're full. We had a big lunch.
And peach cobbler.
He ate his peach cobbler.
And cornbread.
But he brought home mine and Mary Carl's.
I did.
So he may have that for
that's going to be
late night snack.
Late night snack.
Because you got to edit.
Got to edit video.
Got to edit a video. And I got to Well, it's dark, so
Main Street Cafe, exactly right.
that's exactly right. We love
Mhm.
some Main Street Cafe.
It was good.
And I'm still full. I bet.
I'm not hungry at all.
I bet Mary Carl's not full. You know, she's a growing
That's true.
kid. She's gotten to where goes through spurts. I'm
Mhm.
hungry or either I'm still full.
Mhm.
So I will definitely have her something fixed. And you too. But I'm full.
I'm full.
So video tomorrow.
Video tomorrow.
Must tell y'all that Saturday morning we may be a little bit earlier than
I had
8.
that written down and forgot.
We have an event here locally that's
Yep.
In Billingsley,
Mhm.
and we will have Ryan the Roaster's wonderful coffee for sale.
That's right.
And I'm gonna also have some freeze-dried candy. So
Mhm.
if you're in the area, maybe I'll just make a post about it. And
That'll work.
yeah.
It is. I don't even know exactly where to tell them.
I don't either. There's no address on the thing, and I'm probably gonna get lost getting there.
Probably so.
So we may be a little bit earlier because the event starts early that morning, and we need to get set up.
Yep.
So
And there's a possibility that we may not have one on Saturday too. But we'll
just
have to
depends
see.
on.
Depends on how
how
good everything's going that morning.
I want to have
I gotta get the
everything.
animals fed and all that good stuff.
A lot of things that got to happen.
Yep.
So anyway, we will be there Saturday, and hopefully.
Hey, there's Brandy. She says she'll be there. She's looking forward to it.
All
Maybe she
right.
knows where the address is.
Yeah, somebody needs to.
Clack's wife. Hey.
I mean, I shared the thing that they told me to share, the flyer on my personal page,
Yeah.
but it didn't give an address. It just says Billingsley Community Center. So I don't think GPS would take you there.
It might.
It might.
Yep.
But anyway, we plan to be here Saturday unless something happens.
That's right.
And as always, the schedule with videos will continue.
That's right.
All right.
Well, y'all have a wonderful evening.
That's right. Y'all have a good evening, and hope you enjoyed the Catherine has the address.
Okay, good. Catherine. All right, we'll get it from her and post it. My kid wants you to say it.
Oh goodness. Y'all be good.
Oh goodness.